Hello again, welcome back to Hangar 51. Today we're going to talk about a power supply like this one here and how it can supercharge your AC/DC battery charger. So what do I mean by that? Well, this charger, which is a SkyRC D100, is a duo charger, so it allows me to charge two batteries at the same time, and it has a 100-watt output total. This charger has served me very well for 5 years, but mostly I've been charging 1, 2, 3, and 4S batteries. Not a lot of 6S, so it's never really been an issue because I can charge at 1C on all of those on each channel, or close to 1C, because it gives me about 50 watts per side, and that's generally enough depending on the size of the battery. Even if it's not 1C, it's close. But when I got to the 6S batteries, started flying jets, and started running a lot of 6-cell packs, the 50 watts is not enough. It's not even close to enough to get me to 1C on a 5,000 milliamp battery pack like this. I need to be able to charge this at 5 amps. And when I'm charging a 6-cell pack, this won't go over 2 amps on a 6-cell pack. Now it'll go well over that on a 3-cell or a 4-cell pack, but on a 6-cell pack, it won't go over 2 amps. So that's less than half C, and that's taken a long time to charge a 6-cell pack. So, could I buy another charger that could do it? Sure, absolutely. But this charger, I think this was $100, and a pack that's going to be a 200 watt or above charger is going to be probably a couple hundred to maybe up to $300, and I didn't want to spend that. So, it said on the box that this had the capability of doing 10 amps. So why am I only getting 2 amps on a 6-cell pack? Well, it's because of the power supply that's internal in the charger can't handle that. It's only a 100-watt power supply, and apparently you can't force the whole 100 watts on one channel and have nothing on the other, because it won't allow it. So it's splitting it down the middle, and I'm getting 50 watts on each side, and that just isn't going to cut it. So the solution was to buy a power supply. Now this is a 240 watt power supply, okay, and this powers the whole charger, and I guess it's splitting it down the middle again. But the 240 now, I have 120 watts per side, and that does get me to my, well, it gets me close enough. I think I can still only get, I think it went to 4.5 amps, is as high as it would go, but that's a lot better than 2 amps. That's close enough. If I'm running a 4500 pack, which most of my packs are 4500s, then it's at 1C. And this 5000 pack, and I have another one I think that's 5500. I'm a little under 1C, but much better than 2 amp. I'm still at 4.5 amps. So I'm very happy with that. This thing was less than $40. I got this one. This is a Turnigy, so this obviously I got it from Hobby King. You can get them everywhere. They're on Amazon, they're on eBay, they're at probably just about every RC shop you can go to, and under $40, it turned my 2 amp charger into a 4.5 amp on a 6S battery, and saved the day for me. It was much cheaper to go this route and get my big packs charged at the field much faster. So let's get the camera over here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's take a look at this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here I have my duo charger, and we have channels A and B, and we're only going to worry about A for right now. Okay, and as you can see, it's set for LiPo balance charge, and it's also set for 5 amps, 22.2 volt, 6 cell 6S. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take my smart battery here, this 5050C 6S. I'm going to plug it into this charger and start charging it. And we're going to see exactly what it's going to do, or for lack of a better word, not do, while we try to charge it. So let me get this set up here. We're going to plug that in there. I got to put an adapter in my little balance board here. And we're going to plug the battery in, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing here in a second. I can't move the camera and plug this in at the same time, so bear with me while I get this set up. And this is not a smart charger, so it's not going to do the smart charging stuff, but it will charge a smart battery just the old-fashioned way. So here's the setup. Okay, I'm using a balance board, but I'm not doing any. I'm not doing multiple packs or anything right now. I'm just doing a single battery. So it's plugged into this adapter from it's a XT60 to a this is an IC5 connector because it's the smart connector, and it's the same 5050C battery. So just making sure, I'm not pulling any fast ones. I'm not trying to, trick you. That's what we've got set up, and it's obviously plugged into the A port. Okay. All right. So now let's start the charge, and you can watch what happens. And I'm going to pick the screen up and do it right here while you can see it. And then this thing talks, so let me make sure it's in good. That looks good. Okay, so press and hold the start button.
Press start to confirm. Stop to cancel.
Press start again, and there we are. Okay, so the meter in the middle here at the top is 0.4, 0.5, and even though it was set for 5 amps, it's only going to go to 2. And there it is. And that's all it can take, because it's only at 50 watts. It's a 100-watt charger plugged into the wall, and because of the power supply on board, so I'm getting 50 watts per channel, which is just not going to cut it on a 6S battery. Works fine and everything else. Very happy. Well, does a wonderful job of everything else. But it's just not cutting it on the 6S batteries. I mean, I've been charging them for years this way, but I pre-charge them the night before, before I go to the field. So all I do at the field is top them off and fly them. And then if I have to recharge one at the field, it takes an hour, maybe more, depending on what size battery I'm charging. And that's just, with all the 6-cell stuff I'm flying now, it's not acceptable. So we had to do something. So there it is on the internal, not going very fast. It's not really getting the job done. So what can we do about it? Well, here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to set that back down, and I'm going to stop the charge, and we're going to unplug this power supply wire right here. We're going to get rid of that. And that turned off. Okay. So now we have an option here. So I could either plug in this, which is because it has, the input is a XT60 connector right here. This is the DC input. Obviously it's upside down, but you should be able to read that. Right here, upside down, it says DC power right there. Okay, and it's obviously a XT60 connector. So you can do a single, you need these connectors, the same ones you plug in the front of the charger, plug into the front of the power supply. So you just need a power wire. So if you're going to do a single charger, you use a wire like this. If you're going to do multiple chargers, you can use one of these Octopus connectors like this. Okay, and same thing. It plugs this. These will plug into the power supply. I can plug this one into this charger, and then I've got a Dean's here, and all I need is a Dean's adapter to XT60. All right. And I put that on there, and now I can power 2 of these chargers off the same power supply. Now again, that's going to bring it from 120 per channel down to 60 per channel, which is still more than 50. But again, if you do that, just be aware that you still only have 240 watts to work with. So, how do you want to use it? But I'm just telling you that this is an option. If you want to charge, if you want to power more than one charger, you can just buy one of these Octopus connectors, and that's what I'm going to use just to demo that it will work. We're going to use that. And then this will, so if I had 2 of these chargers, I could power both of them off of this connection, off the one power supply. Okay, so here's a close-up of the power supply. Let me move the charger here. It's a very nice looking unit, by the way. That's what it says. 16 amp, 240 watt. It's very well built. The quality of this is very nice. It's got a gold end here. Has your standard on-off switch and the AC input cord, which is basic laptop cord, or I think a computer monitor uses that plug. The old days. I'm showing my age. Yeah, but anyway, and then this side has the you have screw connectors too, so you can screw the power on, or you can just plug the Octopus here straight into here. So I'm gonna plug these in here just like that. Of course, red to red, black to black. Okay, so they're set, and then the back side here is this, and I'm going to set that down right here, and we're going to take, let me put it over here. I'll put it this way, and then we're going to plug one of these XT60s into the charger. Just like that. Okay. And just make sure your other connections are all clear. Don't, it's got a lot of fancy stuff on here, so just make sure everything's clear. Okay. And then I just have to plug this in the wall. So let me unplug the old charger. Gives me a spot to plug this in.
Welcome. I am ready. Make sure you select the correct battery type.
So obviously the power switch was in the on position on the power supply, so it powered right up when I plugged it in. So now we're going to go back and see that the settings have not changed. Everything's still the same. It still says, 5 amp. 2200 6S. Okay? So now we're going to press and hold the start button.
Press start to confirm. Stop to cancel.
And there's the start. And it starts ramping up faster. And we're already up to 7.7, 0.8. And it's going to zoom right past 2. It held at 1.2 last time too for some reason. I don't know why. Jump right to 2.7, then the 3.0, and 3.6, 3.7, 4, 4.4, and that's about where it's going to go. It's going to flicker between 4.4 and 4.5. So that's more than double. Okay, the charge time. It's going to cut my charge time in half. Okay, because it's more than double. It's 4.4. Double would be 4.0. So it's 0.4 more, and it should flicker to 0.5 every now and then. It'll fluctuate slightly as it warms up. So that's more than twice as fast. So if it was taking me, 50 minutes before to charge a battery, now it's going to take 25, and that's a big. That's huge. I mean, for me anyway, that's huge. And it'll do it on both channels. I can put it on another one on channel B, and it'll also charge at 4.4 at the same time. Because this particular thing being 240 watts is more than double. So it'll actually charge 4.4 on each channel. And the cooling fan just kicked on. So, yeah, that's going to make charge time, twice as fast as it before. And then I can always use, I have other chargers that I plug in. They have the same problem as this one that don't go over 2 amp, but I just don't use them for 6 cell anymore. I charge my 1, 2, 3, 4 cells on the other charger that's just plugged in that can make it to 4 amps on a 3S battery. I think it'll go to 4.2 on a 3S, and I think it goes to 3.7 on a 4S. So I'm not quite at 1 amp, 1C on the 4-cell packs, because most of my 4-cell packs are 4500, but it's pretty close. Much closer than 2 amps when you're trying to charge at 5. So that's the other thing is the power supply is whisper quiet, and the cooling fan isn't even on yet. And when it comes on, you can't even hear it. It's very quiet. So the charger fan makes more noise than the power supply fan. So if at least I think I remember it being. We'll give it a minute here. Let's listen. I can't remember if it was noisy or not. I don't think it was. I thought it was pretty quiet. The discharger that I'm going to show in another video is pretty loud, but not this. So we'll just give it a minute here and see if the power supply fan kicks on. I could always try charging another battery at the same time. I'm sure it will kick on then. Yeah, we could do that. Let me set it down for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put a battery on the other side. This is a 4S battery. So let's see how far it will go. We'll try charging this. So since I used the Octopus on the charger, I'll use the standard single stand for charging this battery, because it's an XT60, so that worked out perfect. Plug that in, and I'm going to set this. I'm going to leave that at the 4.5, even though this is a 2200 battery. I'm going to still try to charge it at 4.5, and we'll see what happens. So I'll switch down to there. And we're going to select this to 4-cell.
Press start to confirm.
And we'll see how far it will go. It's got to think about it for a minute. This is normal. There it goes. So it ramped way past, right over past 2 with no trouble. We're up to 3. Hit 4. 4.2, 4.4, 4.5. So we made it to 4.5 on a 4S. Yeah, this dropped down to 4.3, but it'll go back up to 4.4. Like I told you before, it's going to fluctuate slightly. So you see it's going from 4.3 to 4.4. and the bottom one's 4.5, and that's way more. That's way more than 1C on this. On a 4S. So, like I said, I can easily make my 1C on all my 4S packs, and almost 1C on the most. I can make 1C on most of my 6L packs. Most of my 6L packs are 4,500. But I have 2 packs that are over that. So on those 2 packs, I'm going to be charging just slightly under 1C, but still way better than 2 amps. It takes forever. So there you have it, guys. The power supply saved the day. For under 40 bucks, I turned my very nice charger into a supercharger, because now it's going to do the 1 amp, 1S or 1C, I should say, charge rate on 90% of my batteries, and that's going to make me very happy. So there you have it, guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope that gives you some ideas on how to supercharge your chargers, because I know if you've had one of those bargain chargers like mine, it's a good charger, but there's obviously much better chargers available that I can't afford. So I had to go with something that I could afford, and that's what this is. Okay, well, there you have it, guys. I hope that was helpful. I hope that convinced you how to supercharge your charger to get more out of it. I'm not sure if all chargers work this way. I'm not sure if you have a better grade one than I have that allows you to go the full 100 watts on one side, or maybe you even have a 200 watt charger. But if not, then this was a good solution to a new problem for me. Like I said, I haven't had this problem for about 5 years because I haven't really been flying a lot of 6S batteries. But I've evolved. I've got a lot more 6L stuff and bigger planes, jet planes, and I need the capability of charging faster. And this did it for me without having to buy another charger. Because let's face it, even if I bought another charger, that would still make this one unusable for that particular use, charging a 6L pack. And I didn't want to give that up, so this was the answer. Less than 40 bucks, and it solved the problem. So that's it, guys. You know the drill. Comments at the bottom. Like me here on YouTube. Like me on Facebook, and we'll catch you on the next review. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.